Yo, what is good, my anime faithful? What is good, yo? Guys, Boruto is always has these really interesting ideas for bringing back old characters, and I feel like people kind of miss out on that because of just the stigma around the show, but with this episode, I automatically knew exactly who I was looking at as soon as I saw him. Mr. Cursemark himself, Mr. Super, broken at one point in time. Uh, Juzo, straight up, is got a new form. Not only does he have a new form, the man is straight up. How do I put this? He is seemingly losing control of his abilities, and it seems like he's kind of uh, like digressing. And because of that, it seems like now his ability might be taking over him more than he can take over his actual ability. So it just seems like it's going to be a learning curve for him to figure out how to control his overall power. Because I mean, to be fair, the guy wasn't like super like ridiculously crazy when it came down to fighting and just being a part of the show in general. But now that we have this and him like pretty much getting a new transformation, or maybe the transformation just looks a little bit different because he's older, um, but with the curse mark being thrown into play, and not only is it in play, we have clear evidence that it's being spread. Um, these are the types of things that, like, when you go into the fandom or you go into someone who has a channel that's mostly around Boruto because he was a Naruto fan, or around Boruto just because he's a fan of just Boruto, um, you get these really weird conversations where people have already like fantasized what it would be like if Boruto got the curse mark, or what if, Sasuke got the curse mark back. All these different things have always been like on people's minds because they think sometimes when they introduce those things like the curse marks, they have the most potential of coming back, not only just coming back, but being a good reason why some of the characters gain strength, even characters who aren't necessarily that strong at the point. So, for instance, if Boruto freaking gets it, that's ridiculous, like he's going to be stupid powerful. So, that's the type of things people like to like imagine or fantasize about. And I think it's just happened to be very convenient that all of a sudden uh, Boruto shows up in a place that's about birds, and somehow that turns out to being the the overall thing for us to go into a forest that has had birds get hit by the curse mark. Somehow Boruto reacts to all the birds, leaving him to not get cut. And because he doesn't get cut, he doesn't ever like get any little pieces of the curse mark within him. But now that he's fighting the main source of it, and we've seen Juzo get attacked by the curse mark person that's already had it, and then after being attacked, he absorbed it from that person, practically saving his life. So now we're in a weird position where maybe because Juzo is actually spreading the curse, it may not have been taking as much of a toll on him, because I mean he only had like one parts of his body's like cursed up, and maybe that's a sign that getting rid of it was helping. Emphasis on was. um, Maybe because it's about wrapped up, in the sense of this, they could literally end this whole thing the next episode, so that's just how these shows be. And with next episode being them all fighting against Juzo, and we seeing the team leader captain of Seven. Well, he's the captain of both teams right now, 7 and 15. He's actually using a kunai that reminds me a lot of Shikadai or Shikamaru's old leader that used like the knife katana where it had like brass knuckles or fingers parts where you could put your finger through it to get a better grip or something. So really, really dope. I don't remember seeing that throughout the rest of the show, but to see him kind of picking up on old school stuff is really cool to me. And I wish a lot more characters had that going for them. Like, just the nostalgia of someone's weapons that, help bring peace and stuff. Someone else picking them up and trying to do the same thing would be always a cool treat in my eyes. But some people like to keep the weapons very simple and, keep it to one person, which I understand, but at the same time, I am a person who likes to see storytelling be done well. And I think a good way to do that is literally showing us people adapting moves that we already know about and making them ridiculously stronger. But that's just one way to do that. So definitely gonna have to see where this is all leading. I haven't really seen anything in this in the show that's really like overall bad. I mean, sure, some of the episodes feel like filler sometimes, and I'm guessing this one's going to be a filler, or it's going to feel like that too, just because this character isn't like that high profile, and not only is he not that high profile, he's like, he used to work with Sasuke. He works with probably Orochimaru still, because he was seen in The Office not long ago. So it's like, we have a really powerful, like, returning character, but at the same time, it's just, there's not much he can do, in the sense of just like, oh yeah, he is very powerful and he is very like old school when it comes down to the other characters that have been around. But at the same time, it kind of doesn't matter, because all the old school characters almost have been upshined by the young school or the new generation. So regardless of what happens, we are probably going to see a lot, and I mean a lot, of these old things that us as Naruto fans kind of want to see, but then at the same time, I don't want to see it, because it feels like the writers and the authors are only really using these things as talking points. They're only using these things as a quick rock in the road, and then they're over it. It kind of hurts the overall purpose of bringing it in. I mean, let's say I bring in a Tell Beast. Oh my god, a Tell Beast shows up. And the Tell Beast is only there because he's in pain and he's accidentally attacking places. So what happens is they save the Tell Beast, and the Tell Beast just walks off and lives a better life without being injured anymore. That's the types of storytelling this overall series is going with. And I think that's what kind of hurts the old school fans. Where I'm going with this is, they're probably going to figure out this guy can't control himself during the curse, and then if they do figure out a way to bring him back down to his regular form, he's gonna give us the backstory to when he started losing control, and then he's gonna probably lose control one more time. Boruto and Team 7's gonna knock him out, or with the help with Team 15, knock him out, get him back on his feet, and then we're gonna go on with our lives, and no everlasting effect from this episode is going to show up. And I think that's the problem with some of the episodes compared to all of them. Some show, like the girl's like pet thing that she has on her at all times. Like that thing was seemingly filler to people, but Boruto's eye activated. He went through like time or like a whole different dimension to teleport and stuff. And then at the end of the day, she kept that animal. So that makes it like feel like that's her power. That was a canon story to tell us just how powerful she is, what she had going on with her backstory, and now even her pet is getting stronger, but in a better way of being on a leash type of way. So it's those types of things that they could incorporate in all the stories. Like, sure, you don't need to have someone leave this story with a curse mark, but you should, I mean, you should tease something that might be capable of controlling someone with a curse mark, or something stronger than a curse mark has been announced, or you know what I mean? Like Juzo, only reason why he started freaking out is because someone could manipulate the curse mark to do even more things than it used to be able to do. So anything like that would be cool, and I think I'm just like looking into it too much, and I already said what it's gonna be. So I understand that's where they kind of want to go, but I also don't understand why even bring it if you aren't going to deliver like some masterful stuff with it. But that's just me, I guess, and I don't know uh, where this is actually going to go. It could go the exact way that I want it to go, but at the same time, we've had so many different like episodes and different stuff from the old show up and then just get completely left in the dust, or not even show up again because it just was relevant for that one point in time. So it's those types of things that you kind of get uh, the understanding of where it could go, and it sucks because you want to see more, but you really just have to accept it at this point of whatever we get, because they clearly have their own narrative they want to do, and if they want to make the curse mark seem like it's just a bump in the road compared to being something completely super dangerous and could end up like taking out lots and lots of people, not just these villagers, then by all means do that. But with that, my anime people, I will leave you with that. I'm gonna have to watch another show soon and get that recorded. So with all that being said, have an amazing day, night, evening. I'm the Anime G, and I will talk to you in the next one. Make sure to subscribe and hit that bell to be instantly notified. And I hope you have an awesome one. So, peace.